Hello and welcome back to my Capricorn friends and family. So glad to have you joining me today. And I'm going to walk you through some of the interesting transits that we have coming up in the month of August. Now, Capricorns, this is going to get a little bit interesting for you. So I am so glad you are here tuning in. And one of the things I like to talk about before I get started is I am giving you general astrology. So the things that I am talking to about might pertain to you, might not. You might be able to bypass some of this. And there are some sticky things that are going to come up. And I think for you Capricorns, if you know about them ahead of time, it can help you get through things better so that we don't have any big friendship blowouts or anything like that, right? If you can anticipate the energy that's coming, then you can be better prepared for it. Now, another thing I always say is have your natal chart ready because these planets and houses that I will be talking about today, they could have a different impact for you if you have a natal planet in the same place as some of these other planets today. And if you do have a natal planet conjuncting one of these things I'm talking about today, drop me a line in the comments and we can help navigate it together. So I call myself the astrology coach so that I can help coach you through real world, real life situations using the energy of astrology. Astrology is my love language and I love talking about it, sharing it, which is why I started this channel. And I am new, just starting out, and I do appreciate all of you taking a chance on me and taking the time to listen as I work to grow my channel. And I do promise I will get better and better. So for those of you that are with me in the beginning, I just want to give you a thank you, a special shout out to my friends and family in the UK, friends and family in the USA, Canada, anywhere else you might be listening. Thank you, and I appreciate you. And let's talk a little bit about what's happening in August. As you can see, I have it up on the screen right now. Feel free to screenshot, grab your calendar, mark these dates in your calendar so you know what's coming. Bookmark, save, and come back throughout August when something crazy is happening and you can say, wait a minute, I remember the astrology coach talking about that. Let's go back and look. All right, so settle in. This will be about a 30-minute video or less. Grab a snack, grab your beverage of choice, and let's just have fun for the next 30 minutes. As you can see on your screen, we've got a new moon coming up. We've got a solar eclipse. We've got planets transiting to new signs. We've got our lunar nodes entering a new sign. That hasn't happened. Last time these nodes were in these signs were 2008. We've got Mercury Cazimis, lunar eclipses, and full moon. So I'm going to get into what all of that means for you Capricorns. So let's see what we've got going on. Hey Capricorns, here is your wheel. So if you are following along with your natal chart, it should coincide with what you see here as far as house placement. So your sign of Capricorn should be your first house. That is where your ascendant is if you are listening for your rising sign. Your rising sign is going to, like I said, it's going to coincide with all of these placements that I'm showing you today. And it really is the character that you are playing in this everyday world, this everyday life. Your sun sign is what many people listen to. And this can also be more relevant if you are over the age of 40. We tend to relate more with our sun sign. And your sun sign relates to, your date of birth. So when you were born, when the sun, where the sun was for that placement. And that's going to be more your ego, your purpose. And then if you are listening for your moon sign, that is where your moon is on your natal chart. That's going to be a little more about your inner side, your mood, maybe things that you feel inside that the outside world doesn't typically see. All right. So you can listen for all three of your signs. I like to listen for my rising and sun And I do find both of those to be relevant. All right, so Capricorn, we're here to talk about you today and what's in store. Now, Capricorns are ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of structure, discipline, time, responsibility. Many Capricorns carry an air of quiet maturity. And the interesting thing of Capricorns, a lot of people say they have like this Benjamin Button type of life where when they are young, they're very rigid, like that old soul, and then they tend to loosen up as they grow. Their presence isn't really loud and flashy. Now, Saturn is currently retrograde. So, Capricorns, my question for you is, are you working on yourself right now? Whether it's therapy or reflecting on how you've been in the past to make yourself better. That would be an indicator of Saturn retrograde. Now, Saturn is in your fourth house of Aries, and Saturn is not really comfortable in Aries. Aries likes to move fast, and Saturn is more slow and methodical. So you might even be reevaluating your home, your property, or your living arrangements. You could also be unpacking family karma at this time or setting boundaries with family members. So think about in your fourth house, where might you be taking on burdens that aren't yours? All right, that could be a theme that could be popping up for you. So let's dig in and take a look at this first transit that happens on August 7th, and that is with Venus entering Libra. This is in your 10th house, which has to do with your career, your public standing, your profession, career. It could also be the house of the father as well. So are you enjoying your career right now? Well, at least you should be when Venus enters Libra. Venus is very much at home during this time. So your career, your workplace should be a very happy, peaceful place. Maybe you are making it look nicer, you're getting new furniture or something for your office, or just decorating. Or this will really help you to have a very good reputation during this time. So again, this is August 7th when Venus is moving through your 10th house. On the 9th, Mercury enters Leo in the 8th house. You have a lot of stuff that's happening in your 8th house, so I'm just going to go through what is involved in the 8th house. And that has to do with taxes, insurance, inheritances, shared resources. It could be magic, could be affairs. So a whole realm of possibilities that could happen in the 8th house. So this whole August is going to be quite interesting, depending on which one of those areas is going to pertain to you, Capricorn. So this might be a good time to research things, or you may get subtle clues, right? Mercury is the messenger. Mercury is communication. And like I said, 8th house, I typically think of shared resources. If you're married, those investments that you share with your partner, your spouse, or if you have a business partner, just a good time to be reviewing those investments and policies. Also, maybe decluttering your house. Or any task that requires a keen eye. Investments could also grow here because you have Jupiter in this house. So maybe there's like a mutual fund or something that your parents have for you, and it's going to grow and expand during this period. On the 11th is our next transit, and that is when Mars enters Cancer. This is in your 7th house of relationships. I want you to mark this on your calendar because this is probably going to be one of the most important things I'm going to tell you in this video today. With Mars entering your 7th house of relationships, this can bring about some conflicts with people that are close to you. Could be your best friend, your spouse, people airing grievances. And Capricorn, I'm telling you because some Capricorns are good at holding grudges and not forgiving. So if you're going through a conflict with your spouse, your best friend, please take it very lightly and know that this transit can pass. Be forgiving. I don't want you to say goodbye to people that are important in your life. So just remember, is this the hill you want to die on? Is it something that you can look past? Okay, so try not to be so strict and rigid during this time that Mars enters Cancer, because you're going to have these conflicts pop up. Try to just let them pass. You might feel like you need to fight with someone. Like I said, just fight fair and keep it respectful and trustworthy, right? These people are in your life for a reason. Don't be so quick to throw them out and get rid of them. Make sure you listen to what they have to say, and you can also share what you have to say. Keep in mind, this transit goes on until September 27th. So it's a little over a month. Mars will be going through the sign of Cancer in your seventh house, right? Cancer likes to talk about emotions. Mars does not like emotions. So it's just going to be a little bit of conflict there. Mark it down. It's going to pass. Don't let it turn into something that it doesn't need to be. All right. Let's see. Our next transit is on the 12th. We have a new moon in Leo and a solar eclipse. This again is happening in your 8th house of shared resources. So this is going to bring an intense spotlight on that area. Now, it can also have to do with psychology, emotional bonds, a transformation, right? A psychic transformation for you. Maybe even a closure of something. So a new moon typically means new beginnings, but I'm wondering here if something needs to close with the eclipse to open something new. The eclipse can really act like an accelerator here, so beware of energy. Key themes here to think about. How are you managing your joint finances? Or maybe there's a breakthrough in your partner's finances, or maybe you just need to change structures in how you're financing something or your mortgage. So it's a really good time to pay attention to that. This could also signify a Phoenix rising stage. All right, Phoenix rising, that's the bird that burned up and came back from the ashes more powerful than ever. So this could be just a psychological impact where you are reclaiming your power. Maybe you felt under the umbrella of, a partner, and you've had to stay with them because of their money, of their power. Are you involved with a narcissist? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But maybe it's realizing that you need to let go of a pattern that has not been healthy for you. So Leo here in this sign as well, Leo is the ruler of this house. He's going to encourage you to make a courageous connection here. So drop the armor, let people see you, be vulnerable. Remember, the eclipse can bring unpredictable energy, so observe and don't react. Pay attention to feelings that arise in you. And look where your time, money, and energy are being spent. And allow any of those toxic power dynamics to burn away. Okay, something's evolving here in this house. Now on the 15th, still more in the 8th house. We're staying a while in this house, but we have a Mercury-Jupiter conjunction. Mercury's the mind, Jupiter's expansion. Leo is confidence. And again, shared resources. So something is growing here with shared resources. Let's see. I am noticing we've got a sextile from Uranus in Gemini. It's not really a tight sextile. in the same thing, we have Pluto in the second house too of finances. So I'm not really seeing a big inheritance, but you never know. All right. Could be coming, it might not be. But this could really signify big money contract breakthroughs. If you've invested money in something, it seems like this is a really good time for those investments to take off. It's a good time for negotiating deals or restructuring those assets, whether you need to refinance a mortgage or secure funding for a business, something around those realms. But it's going to be a big light bulb moment where you're empowered to demand what you are worth. And you can take deep topics and inspire others as well. So, away from the money, let's just talk about the communication aspect of Mercury. Mercury's going to give you the gift of transformative speech here, possibly an aha moment, because we've got the sun. The sun rules Leo, and then with this Mercury Jupiter combination, things are looking really good in your eighth house, whatever it is that's happening. You're going to be able to see the silver lining. A shadow side of Jupiter here could be to overpromise or exaggerate things. So try not to do that. On the 19th is our next transit. We have the nodes. So I use whole signs tropical and I follow the mean nodes. And you can see that the nodes are moving to new signs on the 19th. So the North Node is entering Aquarius. Let me grab my pencil here. All right, we've got this North Node dips back into Aquarius, and then the South Node here, guess what? Dips into that eighth house. So a lot of eighth house action. Leo's going to help redirect the focus from financial entanglements to self-directed security. All right, that second house is your self-worth, your personal material things, and then the eighth house is the shared. So the eighth house is really wanting you to release something. And it could very well just be an impulse to constantly seek validation from others or your own financial security. Are you leaning on someone right now? Do you have a high stakes partnership? Or are you maybe relying on your family income? Maybe it's time to step away, step out on your own, and be your own person. So we might see some dramatic power dynamics here as you're leaving some group, some partnership to go out on your own. Let's see. Are you leaning on contracts that make you feel safe or emotional cycles that make you feel safe? Like I said, are you in a partnership with a narcissist that you feel like you have to be with them for money because they're taking care of you? This node change might be trying to give you a message or a shift here. Also, try not to, if you have a partner that's struggling with finances, try not to take that personally here. All right, but we're seeing this push-pull between the second and the eighth house. So the second house is where the universe is wanting you to cultivate and grow. And stability here is going to come from your own self-worth and your own self-reliance. So rely on yourself and love yourself first. That's what the universe wants you to do. You can't love somebody else before you love and take care of yourself. So start building your own income. And it's a good time to build your own income through the use of technology or network-based means. And I'm not telling you, break up with someone. It's always good to have your own finances. Let me tell you, I've been married 25 years, and for those 25 years, and I think that's the reason we're still married, is we've kept our funds separate. Yes, there are things that we cover together, but it's just too much. It gets too messy when you're sharing things, and I don't know. steer clear of that. That's my advice for anyone out there that's getting married or entering a partnership. You got to have your own funds because you never know. If you can't rely on yourself, who can you rely on? So take care of yourself. That's my message for you. Be confident in your own skills and what you contribute, than what other people think of you. So look at resources with a clear strategy instead of emotionally. That's what Mercury's going to want you to do. He's going to bring clarity. And you will know your own value and depend on yourself. So the last time these nodes were in Leo and Aquarius was 2008 and 2009. So think back to that time. What was changing for you? Were you going to college? Were you starting off in the world? Maybe you were getting married. I'm curious to know, is it a similar theme from 2008 and 2009? Now, Mercury wasn't there last time, so things will be different, but it was in these houses of 2 and 8. So think back, if you can remember 2008, 2009, what happened, might be good to reflect on that. All right, the next event happens on the 23rd. So let me move my wheel. Let's erase this. So we have the sun entering Virgo in the 9th house. This is your house of goals, wisdom, college, foreign travel, legal matters. So the sun here wants to push you out of your comfort zone. Again, we've got a lot of talk about trying something new. And this is a good time to try new things. Get some deep thoughts, do some meditation, have important conversations with people. And by the end of the month, you might find that you have a new taste for new things that maybe you had never considered before. All right. So get out there and try new things. On the 25th, we have Mercury entering Virgo in the 9th house. Let me move my wheel. All right, so Mercury enters Virgo in the 9th house. Mercury is the ruler of the 9th house, so this is a very positive transit for you. Mercury in this house will bring sharp thinking, high levels of thinking, and expansion here. This could activate big ideas. It'll keep you focused on everything that you do. It's a good time for publishing content, a good media focus. Mercury can help you fine tune this. Words will just come clear. You may be involved in higher education. Are you going back to school? Are you learning something new? This transit is just going to make you feel compelled to study something. Hey, maybe it's astrology and you can continue your learning with me. I would love that. 9th house also has to do with foreign travel. So maybe you'll be going to visit other places. This will just really help bridge the vision to your earning houses as well. On the 27th, we have a Mercury cazimi. Now, this is also going to be affected by the full moon and the eclipse. So I'm going to really break it down for you. So right now you see the cazimi happening. And it's right here. And that is when Mercury and the sun are conjunct in the same sign. And this is very dynamic and powerful because Mercury is the ruler and the sun is just really highlighting him, and he's sitting like a king in a throne. He's got his own chariot. But we also have this square from Uranus. So we have a T-square going on here. You see that? So we've got the full moon. Well, not yet. I don't have the full moon yet. Full moon's going to move here into Pisces. But we do have Uranus squaring this cazimi from the 6th house. So Mercury's going to be your anchor here because he is the most powerful. He's going to bring mental clarity, clear insights around curriculum, your schedule, or any projects you're working on. He's going to help you deliver your presentations. He's going to help you understand with precision. And you could really have an aha moment here in your ninth house. And that is your house of education, of legal matters, of foreign travel. So it's really neat that you're getting clarity around a subject. So if you're learning, studying at university, let me know how this is impacting you. I would love to hear from you in the comments. But like I said, we have this plot twist from Uranus in the sixth house. So Uranus may offer some shakeup to your everyday world. And because it's a square, it may create some tension. So the sixth house could be your work, daily habits, your health, your pets. And because it's a square, like I said, it's going to be a disruption, possibly some information overload that's going to affect your health or your pets. But it will be part of a system upgrade for you. So the universe is going to bring awareness to something in the sixth house that will be shocking, but it's going to help you improve down the road, right? The universe wants us to be successful. And these charts really are a blueprint for what's to come. And it helps us prepare, right? But the universe is going to want us to be successful. And we have Mercury here helping us. All of these planets are going to help us get through things. So write down any insights or ideas before this disruption happens on August 27th. But don't stress about it because, like I said, it will make things better. You know, if it's got to pinpoint something about our health, then it's going to happen soon enough so that we can improve and get better, right? It's bringing an awareness to something that we might be too busy to acknowledge on our own. Now, we also have this lunar eclipse and full moon happening in Pisces. All right. So right here, we've got the moon now in Pisces, and that is in your third house. We still have this T-square with Uranus in the sixth house connected to this cazimi. Okay. Mercury is moving out of the sun now. But this is really like a pressure cooker. This is going to be a full moon release, right? Think of that boiling pot. You got to release some pressure. Something has to let go here. A full moon is a culmination. We've got to release. We've got to let go. And it's going to be something in that third house. And your third house can be your siblings, your neighbors, short journeys, communication, talking and writing, any of those things. But the apex here is still Mercury in Virgo, giving you these downloads of clarity. Mercury is our hero of the story, and he will help keep you focused, right? No matter what the universe is throwing at you, he's going to help keep you focused. So your superpower is organization, planning, and execution. And when this stuff is happening, you're going to fall back on those skills that you as a Capricorn have. Now, on the 28th, Pluto is in the second house, Aquarius, and Pluto is sextiling Neptune in the fourth house of Aries. This is a long-term aspect. It's going to go on for quite some time. But I want to bring it to your attention because it is a positive piece. And I like to end every video with a positive, right? I don't want you to be like, oh gosh, this August is going to suck. It's not going to suck. Because you have this great transit that is happening right now. Let me grab this pencil, right? We've got Pluto here in the second house sextiling Neptune. And that's in your fourth of home, roots, and family. So this could be transforming your relationship with money. And Neptune is in your house of home, right? Your fourth house. So this is going to be about creating a sanctuary within your home. Maybe you're renovating. One of the things I thought was cool here, Neptune, water, Aquarius, water, even though Aquarius is an air sign. Sorry about that. but I'm feeling like there could be some kind of purchase having to do with the water. Um, that might even support your healing. Maybe a boat, a home by the water, could even be nature. Maybe some kind of trip camping in nature, but it's going to be very healing. Um, and it's going to really pique your creativity. Pluto is going to give you resources because he's in the second house, and Neptune is going to give you the vision, right? What do you want your house to become? Maybe you need to heal some emotional wounds about the home or your finances. I even think this could even lend itself to making money through healing others, right? Or some kind of creative work here. But invest in things that nourish your soul. And this will unfold over several years. So it's not going to be quick. It's going to be a several year process, but it's going to help you build a secure and fulfilling foundation. So that is how I wanted to end on my positive note, Capricorn. So you've got some interesting things happening in the month of August. Like I said, just great to be prepared. Always subscribe so that you can get my latest videos. I do try to make them better each time. And I do appreciate you for tuning in. If you have a Capricorn that you know and love, please feel free to share this with them so that they know what's to come. Again, thank you, and here's to a wonderful August. Enjoy!